4 seasons, 8 OVAs, 4 recap movies, random spin-offs, live-action garbage, and a final season that was somehow split into 4 different parts over 3 years. Look, trying to figure out the definitive Attack on Titan watch order is an absolute nightmare if you're just jumping in today.
I mean, seriously, Final Season Part 3 Special 2? What does that even mean? It's completely ridiculous, and honestly, it drives new viewers away. But don't worry, because we're going to cut right through all that studio naming nonsense right now. We're mapping out the complete watch order, giving you a timeline guide that actually makes sense, and delivering a seamless chronological binge watch guide from the very first frame all the way to the final credits.
So let's talk about the actual Attack on Titan problem. The series itself? It's a bleak, unforgiving masterpiece. It's this brilliant, traumatic story about humanity's desperate fight for survival against man-eating titans. The problem isn't the show. The problem is exactly how they released it. The release order is just a total minefield of recap movies you don't need, weird spin-offs that totally ruin the tone, and overlapping OVAs hidden all over the internet. Let's lay down the ground rules right off the bat on how to watch Attack on Titan. We have to separate the must-watch main canon from the filler pile. We are mercilessly cutting out recap movies, those weird chibi comedies, and any alternate universes. To keep the relentless life-or-death momentum of this story totally intact, we're only keeping what matters. If it doesn't push the main plot or crucial character development forward, it's getting thrown out. Skip it.
Which brings us to the true chronological start. If we're going to do this right, we aren't actually starting with episode 1 of the main series. Nope, we're jumping all the way back to year 844, before Wall Maria even falls to the Colossal Titan.
The actual chronological starting point is OVA 4 and 5, known together as No Regrets. This is a highly recommended, absolutely canon two-parter that dives into Captain Levi's gritty underground backstory right before he joins the Scout Regiment. Watch these 2 episodes and then roll directly into Season 1, Episodes 1 through 13. That's your absolute must-watch introduction to the fall of Wall Maria and the brutal 104th Cadet Corps training. Now, right after episode 13, the studio dropped a bunch of side content. Skip the chibi theater shorts, skip OVA's cooking showdown, and skip OVA 3's wilderness survival. It's pure filler. You do not want a goofy cooking competition interrupting a story about the literal extinction of humanity. Skip it entirely.
Now, we get to fleshing out the world, and I need you to trust me on this next part. Because, look, there are a lot of watch guides out there that just tell you to skip absolutely everything that isn't the main numbered seasons. But this entire series is covered right here, and this is the honest take you need to get the absolute best narrative experience.
Right before you jump into the second half of Season 1, you need to watch OVA 1, Ilse's Notebook. It takes place during the 49th Scout Expedition before the Battle of Trost, and guys, it drops some absolutely crucial Titan lore that will completely change how you view these monsters early on. Once you finish that single 20-minute episode, power straight through the rest of Season 1. That's episodes 14 through 25. This covers the incredibly intense Battle of Trost and the terrifying female Titan arc. The moment Season 1 wraps up, you're going to immediately ignore recap movies 1 and 2. They are literally just chopped up summaries of what you just watched. Easy skip.
Right after Season 1 ends, things get a bit controversial. Half the fandom says skip the Lost Girls OVAs, which are OVAs 6 and 7, because they just want to rush blindly into Season 2. But this breakdown stance is clear. Do not skip them. These 2 episodes follow Ani on a military police mission right before the Stohess raid. It fundamentally changes how you view her character and the massive collateral damage of the Stohess conflict. Watch them. It's highly recommended canon.
With that out of the way, you're ready to sprint. You go straight into Season 2, episodes 26 through 37, which unravels the massive Clash of the Titans arc. Follow that immediately with Season 3 Part 1, diving deep into the political conspiracies of the Uprising arc, and then go straight into Season 3 Part 2, The Return to Shiganshina. This entire stretch, nothing but must-watch main canon. The stakes get unimaginably high, the world-building expands rapidly, and it all builds up to the legendary basement reveal without breaking its stride.
And honestly, here's the best part about sticking to this exact canon order. You have just saved over 6 hours of your life. Because while you were blazing through the absolute masterpieces that are Seasons 2 and 3, you completely bypassed the filler list. You skipped Recap Movie 3, you skipped OVA 8, which is just a random Mikasa dream sequence, you skipped the junior high comedy parody, you skipped Recap Movie 4, and we entirely erased those terrible non-canon live-action movies and web series from existence. Skip all of it.
Moving on to the basement and beyond. You are going to need every single ounce of that saved time and emotional energy for what comes after the basement. Because Season 3, Part 2 fundamentally shifts the entire series. It takes everything you thought you knew about the world inside the walls and flips it completely on its head.
In fact, if you've already watched this far, I want you to sound off in the comments right now. Which specific moment from the Return to Shiganshina arc completely wrecked you emotionally? Treat this like the shared trauma it is. Drop it in the comments, because there's absolutely no shortage of heartbreaking moments in that season.
Okay, navigating the final chapters. Pushing straight into the final act, we hit the infamous naming disaster of the show's conclusion. Do not let the titles overwhelm you here. Keep your momentum going, because the payoff is absolutely worth it.
Here's exactly how the final season is structured. Part 1, which covers episodes 60 through 75, jumps 4 years into the future and shifts the global conflict over to Marley. Must watch. Then comes Part 2, episodes 76 through 87, which escalates everything at a breakneck pace and leads directly to the apocalyptic launch of the Rumbling. Again, must watch. Finally, you reach the final chapters, which the studio famously released as Special 1 and Special 2. These are massive, feature-length TV mega-specials that serve as the definitive canon climax to the entire series.
Now, pay attention here because you actually have a choice for this very last part. You can either watch those 2 TV specials, usually labeled as episodes 88 and 89 on most streaming platforms, or you can swap them out entirely for The Last Attack. The Last Attack is a 145-minute theatrical movie that seamlessly stitches both of those TV specials together into one massive feature film, complete with upgraded visuals and incredible 5.1 surround sound. If you have the option, The Last Attack is for sure the ultimate definitive way to experience the finale.
Which brings us to the honest truth. So, after all of that, after navigating the timelines, the OVAs, and those recap movies, here's the honest truth about Attack on Titan. Zero confusion. Just the order. This show is a punishing, traumatic masterpiece. It is not for people looking for a lighthearted adventure with the power of friendship. It is brutal, it is politically complex, and it will heavily challenge your morality. But for those who want unparalleled world building and a story where every single detail matters from episode 1 to the finale, it is completely unforgettable. Let's do a breathless, rapid-fire rundown of the final streamlined chronological order back-to-back so you have it totally locked in. Start with the No Regrets OVAs. Go into Season 1 episodes 1 through 13, watch Ilse's Notebook, finish Season 1, watch the Lost Girls OVAs, blaze through Season 2, Season 3 Part 1, and Season 3 Part 2. Hit the final season Part 1 and Part 2, and cap it all off by watching The Last Attack theatrical movie. That is your flawless, filler-free run.
Comment the moment Season 1 ends. Want to know your reaction? Subscribe to Zero Anime for more episode breakdowns. See you in the next explainer.